कर लो अनुभव प्रभु प्यार का बाहों में।
Om Shanti. Baba always say that remember me, right? The remembrance is one of the foundations for transformation, right? We have 4 subjects, right? One is knowledge. The first one is knowledge. The second one is yoga. The third one is inculcation or dharana. The fourth is service, right? So these are the 4 pillars for Brahmin life, right? One among the 4 is a little bit less, then the table will triple and it will shake. So in the same way for us also, in this Brahmin life, in order to have that constant stage of Manmanabhav, a constant stage of remembrance, we need to have that balance of all the 4, right? Of course, knowledge is a foundation. So on the basis of that, meditation is there, yoga is there, concentration is there. But in order to maintain those both, Gyan and Yoga, we need inculcation also, right? Dharana should also be there, and also service. So because without service, we are not giving our energies out. When we just consume and we don't give out, so it becomes like a dirty pond. Water in the pond. Water in the pond or lake, which is stagnant, gets dirty faster, right? Flowing water is always fresh. So doing service on different levels, Baba has spoken of service on different levels. So when we give out that energy, then we can consume also. Then the energy is fresh and there's life. When there's flow, there's life, right? So one of the things that we have to, considering all these 4, let us take into thing one by one. So how are we going to be constant? Because many times we are intoxicated. Many times we are having good stage, but other times, there are times when our stage goes down, our enthusiasm level goes down. It becomes, below normal, right? So Baba says, maintain that stable stage. We have to maintain that stable stage. So in order to maintain that stable stage, one of the important thing that is necessary, what do you think is very much necessary to maintain that stability in our Brahmin life? What is it that's necessary? First and foremost thing, or one of the most important thing that we need in order to have that stability? Practice. Practice, doesn't it feel like laborious? Yes? What is faith? Yes. Before that? I would say intoxication. Right? When we are intoxicated, so everything, becomes lighter. When there's intoxication within, when there is happiness, when we are intoxicated, we are happy. And whatever comes, whatever circumstances, whatever problems, doesn't seem a problem, right? Because of that intoxication, we are with Baba always, right? So, in order to maintain that intoxication, in order to have, first of all, we need to have that first, right? And the second step is to maintain that. In the outer world, people have increased taking drugs. They want intoxication, right? And they feel something out of the world when they are intoxicated. But for us, it's spiritual intoxication. We don't have to inject anything into our bodies, but it is injecting in the mind. We need to create such thoughts so that we get intoxicated, right? And that intoxication is good for health, right? So how are we going to inject that intoxication into our minds? How are we going to do that? First is to realize who we are. We know who we are, right? Who are we? Who are you? Point of light. Who are you? Children of God. Who are you? There's a long list. Who are we? Right? Who are you? Souls? That's it. Bas. Who are we? Who are you? Master Almighty Authority. Who are you? Come up. You listen to Murli every day. There are so many points. Who are you? We belong to the deity clan. We are going to be deities. Lighthouse. We are lighthouses. Might house. Angels. Yes. And who are you? Who are you? World benefactors. We are world benefactors. Right? Who are you? Come up. We are the victorious ones. We have victory over the nature. We are going to come in the beads of the rosary. We belong to personalize it, right? I belong to Brahmin clan. I am the sparkle of Baba's eye, right? And I am the ancestor soul, the seed of the Kalpa tree. So there are so many blessings. There are so many titles that Baba has given us. We listen to those points every day. And Baba says, when you listen to the Murli, personalize it. When Baba says you are world benefactor, it's not that Baba is speaking to somebody else. Baba is speaking to me. Baba is telling me that you are world benefactor, right? So we have to experience that. I have to personalize that. Yes, I am a world benefactor. So how is it to be a world benefactor? Being in that awareness, being in that consciousness, and to absorb that energy. So because if we don't do that, the iron-aged atmosphere will really influence us, will impact us, right? So we definitely know in what time we are living in. We are in the most auspicious time of confluence age. We are so fortunate ones, right? So feeling is very much necessary here. When we don't feel it, we don't experience it. You don't just think on the level of your intellect, but on the level of feelings. Okay. We can mug up everything. We can remember. I can write down all the titles, 108 titles, what Baba has spoken of. spoken in the Murli, and I can memorize it, right? And I can repeat those. But it is only on the level of my head, intellect. But have I experienced each and every title? So when we experience that, when we feel each one of it, and we get intoxicated, right? So simple. When I think that I am God's child, you know, Baba speaks every day, meete bache, sweet children. You know, that feeling that God is my father. You know, just imagine going into that feeling that God is my father. It's such a deep thing. And if I experience that feeling, the depth of it, the depth of my relationship with Baba, the depth of that bond with Baba, so then is it difficult to forget Baba? Why are we finding it difficult to remember? Is because that bond, we lack that bond. We lack that relationship with Baba. From Baba's side, there's no problem. Baba is showering that blessing, showering that love, showering everything that I want. But the problem is from our side, right? So this is a time to experience that depth of relationship with Baba in the confluence age. Because in golden and silver ages, we are not going to meet Baba anyway, even in copper age. But from copper age onwards, we start to call out for Baba. Oh God, come. So since copper age onwards, we are looking. Yes, we were searching. But now, we had that fortune of meeting God. Right? So meeting God in all relationships, experiencing that. And this is a direct relationship. It is not indirect. On the path of devotion, it used to be indirect. Through the deities, through the Pandit. It wasn't direct. But here, I have direct relationship with God. So there's no need of an agent in between. Right? So when there's a direct relationship, so then I will have to experience it. I will have to give time to myself to experience it. Right? So remembrance is not just during Amrit Vela I remember and just forget it. But am I giving enough time for myself to be with God? To be with Baba? To experience that? Because even in the Laukik world, when we have to develop relationship or set right the relationship with the family or any of the family members, what do? We give them time. We spend time with them. We try to understand them. And then that bond is created. Right? Here also, how much time am I giving myself to experience that bond with Baba? Yeah? So if we are just dry, if I say, okay, I'm a point of light, a soul, it sounds so boring, right? Of course, I'm a point of light. That's okay, that's the truth. But add something to it, who am I? Baba has given us so many titles. Taking each one and experiencing that in depth. Because this is a time that we are creating our fortune. This is a time, if we are not able to experience that supersensuous joy now, when else can we experience? Right? So this is a time to experience that supersensuous joy. No when. not in any other time of the kalpa. So this can be possible only. Supersensuous joy means joy which is not dependent on any of the senses. Right? Through the senses we experience. When I look at something beautiful, I'm happy. When I listen to something very soothing, what I like, I'm happy. With all these senses, I'm experiencing joy. But here Baba says, supersensuous joy means not on the basis of any of these senses. By creating those elevated thoughts, powerful thoughts, I'm getting connected and I'm getting intoxicated and experiencing that supersensuous joy, right? And this is Jivan Mukti, right? This is what Baba wants us to do, wants us to experience liberation in life. Baba says, I give you the inheritance, two types of inheritance. One is Mukti and other is Jivan Mukti, right? Mukti is liberation. Liberation can be experienced only when we go to Param Dham, right? But Jivan Mukti is the stage to experience liberation when we are still in this body. Right? So that is the stage that we need to experience now. None of the religions or any scriptures or any saints speak of Jivan Mukti. They speak of liberation. They speak of Mukti. But here Baba says it is possible for you to experience here in the confluence age. Right? So you know what liberation in life is. You have heard the story, right? Of Janak, the king Janak. To be focused on the light of the soul, but doing my activities of a king, but then the complete focus is on my light. Right? So that is Jivan Mukti. So these are the things that we can experience right now. So we need to be aware of my fortune every moment. Only then I can be in this stage of Manmanabhav. Right? So what is the fortune that we have in this confluence age? Yes. First and foremost thing is that God has chosen me. Right? In this hundreds and thousands of people in the world, handful of people have been picked. And out of them, we are one. I am one. Right? So fortunate. Did you choose Baba or Baba chose you? Baba chose us, right? There are many people more capable, many people more, intellectual, more worthy, but then Baba chose me, who's a very ordinary person, means it is my fortune that Baba opened my intellect to recognize him. He is the almighty authority. He can touch anyone's intellect. But Baba touched my intellect so that I was able to recognize him. Right? So it is my fortune that Baba has chosen me, and it is my fortune that Baba is with me in the form of Father, Teacher, Sadguru, and in all relationships. Right? So there's a long list of fortune. We have such huge family. That's also a fortune, right? Wherever we go to Baba's home, we say our home, right? We have that feeling of it's ours. Because We all belong to Baba. We all are Baba's children, and that feeling of belongingness is there. So we have an enhanced family, a large family, right? So like that, we have so much of fortune here in this confluence age. That's why Baba says, have you come with your fortune, or have you come here to create your fortune? What do you say? Have you come with your fortune, or have you come to create your fortune? भाग्य बना के आए हो, भाग्य बनाने आए हो? बनाकर आए हैं बनाने आए हैं. Have you come to create, or you have to create? थोड़ा बहुत था. We had some fortune. That's why we are here. And we are here to enhance our fortune, to create more. We are not satisfied with little amount, na? We are not satisfied with little fortune. So we want bigger fortune. So for here, we are here to create our fortune. We had some, but we want to create more, right? So this is the time for us to create our fortune, right? So we need to be aware of that. In all our 83 births, we have done many things, right? We have taken care of our family. We have done many things to our kingdom. We have done many things to our family. Anything. We have, everything. But at least in this birth, can we minimize all those things? Right? So next 83 births are always there to do all those things. But this is a time for me to fill myself, to energize myself, and to be with God. Right? For example, if you get a message from the Prime Minister of your country, right? I'm coming to your home for only 2 hours this time. What do you do? His arrival, you want to make him comfortable, you want to be very hospitable like there, and you will cancel all your engagements. No matter how busy you were, you will cancel all your engagements, all your appointments, and say, no, Prime Minister is coming to my home. He'll be there just for 2 hours. So I can do all those meetings later on also. So those 2 hours I want to be with that person. Because, you would be meeting others anyway all the time. But 2 hours I want to just focus and to be with that person for 2 hours. For us here, who is important? Who is the Prime Minister for us now? Shiv Baba is with us now in this confluence age, right? And limited time. We have been with those people all the time in our last birth, this birth, and everything. Okay. We have to fulfill our responsibilities, okay. But then, Shiv Baba, we won't be meeting the whole Kalpa, right? He's with us just now. So how much benefit are we taking from him at this moment? How much importance are we giving to him? Right? Because we don't realize many times because he's not in a physical form. He's in a subtle form, right? So we have to, because if something is in front of my eyes, I remember. I'm reminded of that thing or that person. But he's not in front of my eyes. I will have to make effort to bring in that awareness again and again. So only that effort we need to do that right now. Bring that awareness into my mind. Who am I? Who is Baba? What is about the time? Constantly focusing on it. Right? So then everything else becomes easy. Yeah? Just a shift in that awareness, just a shift in that consciousness will bring in all the fortune. That's why Baba says it's very easy. But we make it difficult because that awareness just slips away. Right? We are drawn into other things. We are attracted into other things. So that focus again and again has to come on this light. And then life becomes easy. Right? So in order to enhance this fortune, one is that awareness, then we can go into creating that fortune, but again enhancing that consciousness or enhancing that fortune. Baba speaks of त्याग, tapasya and seva. भाई कम हो गया क्या? So renunciation is the first foundation for our Brahmin life. Renunciation of what? Renunciation of awareness? Vices. Yes. Anything else that we have to renounce? Deha bhan. Anything else? When we speak of renunciation, it's a heavy word, right? I have to renounce this, I have to renounce that, I have to renounce this. Renounce all attachments. When we speak of renunciation, there's fear. I don't know what's going to happen if I renounce this. I don't know. Many times we are attached to our own weaknesses. Right? We are so comfortable in our weaknesses, in our skins. Right? We want that weakness to be with me. For example, that laziness, like I want that weakness to be with me so I can enjoy that laziness, to be just relaxed. So we are comfortable with those weaknesses. But how are we going to get rid of all those things? Many times we want to make effort to get rid of those weaknesses, to renounce them, but we don't know many times how to do that. I always remember this example that always Baba gives is, like the fruit. Until it is completely becomes full and becomes completely full with all the things, ripe, it is stuck with the tree. When it is completely ripe, the fruit falls down from the tree. It detaches itself. No one goes and cuts it, separates it, but automatically fruit, when it is completely ripe, it comes out of the connection, right? So now here, if I think of filling myself, instead of renouncing, it becomes much more easier, right? Why are we getting stuck with all those things? Is because I'm drawing something from those things. Some pleasure is there. I'm drawing some happiness or joy or pleasure from all these things. And that's the reason I'm stuck. I'm attached. I'm not able to detach myself from these things. It might be anything. It could be people, it could be my weakness, it could be any physical things. I'm drawing something from those things. And that's the reason from here I'm not able to detach. So instead of making efforts to detach, what I would prefer is fill myself with this pleasure, right, from Baba. if I start to enjoy this spiritual life, if I start to draw pleasure out of this, I don't need these pleasures. Right? So because mind needs that joy, all these, it's a mind work. Right? Why are we attached? Like if mind is taking something from it, that's why I'm getting attached. So if mind enjoys the spiritual path, that's why I'm saying don't make the spiritual path dry. Otherwise, you can't walk for a long time. You can't experience this for a long time. So make it entertaining, make it intoxicating, make it something that your mind enjoys, takes pleasure in from it, right? So when I start to take pleasure from this, then I start to experience the joy, experience that happiness, experience that strength. Not only joy and pleasure, but I'm experiencing that power as well, right? So when the soul strengthens, then I'm getting full. I'm becoming complete. When I become complete, then I don't need these attachments. Automatically, mind gets detached. Right? This is much more a easier way of efforts than to just pull and push. Otherwise they were always having wars here. Pulling and pushing is there. Always duality. To do this, do this. Baba says this, Baba says that. Always confusion. So when I am stabilized in attainment, just filling and attaining and experiencing, gradually I become complete. And then renunciation is not a big deal at all. Because I know by renouncing this, what am I gaining? My focus is on my attainment, but not on my renunciation. Because my attainment is for a long period of time. My renunciation was for whatever I'm renouncing, that pleasure was just for a short period of time. Right? So when we understand that, I don't feel the burden of this. I don't feel the heaviness of renunciation. That's why Baba says, whenever people look at you, look at your faces, they should not feel the renunciation that you have done, but they should feel the fortune that you have created. How can that be possible? If somebody is looking at me, they should not feel my renunciation. When will they feel that my renunciation? When they feel my renunciation, they will say, Bechare, poor thing. Look at that person. They had to renounce so much. They feel pity looking at. But they should not feel pity. They should be saying, wow, look at the glow, look at the fortune that they have created. I also want to become like that. Right? When they look at our renunciation, then it's, oh, that's very much difficult. I can't do that. But when they look at the fortune, they are inspired that they also want to do that. Right? So when will they see our renunciation? When will they feel our renunciation? No, renunciation. When will they feel our renunciation? When I feel heavy about my renunciation, oh, I have to renounce this one, I have to renounce this much. When I am feeling heavy, then people will feel that renunciation. But when I don't feel that, but I'm having that happiness of my fortune, And my focus is on my fortune, my focus is on my attainment, but not on my renunciation. So then my fortune is shown on my face. But yes, there's a hand.
When people say to you, in Loki family, when we go to, they say, I wish I could be like you, but
Yes.
I can't.
Yeah.
do it."
Yeah.
They say that.
Yeah.
I wish I could,
Mm.
but I can't do it. Is that what kind of?
They are looking at both then. They are looking at your fortune, looking at your glowing face, your happy face. Maybe they have seen your transformation in your life, how positive you have become, how powerful you have become. They have experienced that. But then again, they are looking at your renunciation also, at the other part as well. So then they feel, okay, I want this, but I don't want this. Right? So then without this, they can't have this. Right? Without renunciation, you can't create fortune. Right? For any type of fortune, it's not only the spiritual path, even in the outer world, in the world there, if you don't work hard, if you don't renounce certain things, you can't create your fortune, right? Even in a student life, if you don't renounce your parties and your French things and everything, you won't be able to score more marks, right? So in each and every life, there is a certain amount of renunciation, right? So, but when they attain the result in their life, then the renunciation doesn't count at all for them. When they pass out with very good marks, they don't feel that what they have renounced, because attainment is much more than what the renunciation they have made, right? So here also, my attainment is too elevated, right? Not connected with any of those physical things. Very much elevated, very much higher. But then they are looking at my renunciation also. So they need to, because they are looking at both, but they are not really understanding the elevatedness, the high, elevatedness of my fortune, so that they are feeling both, right?
Is that what that I am lacking somewhere still? Like still not.
Maybe that also. And another way to look at it is, maybe that person is looking on both the sides. Yeah. So we make efforts not to expose our renunciation or whatever it is, not to create that heaviness in our renunciation, right? So that more people are inspired by the fortune that is created here, right? So that heaviness should not be there in the heart. The focus is always on my attainment. What am I getting? It's not only for the future, but for this birth also. In this birth also, you can just imagine how you can just look at your own life and see how you were before coming to Gyan, how you are after coming to Gyan and practicing these things, right? So it's such a difference in our own life in this birth. So when there's so much difference in this birth, then what about in the future births, right? So we don't have to worry of the future births. Whatever is going to happen will happen. But when we focus on this birth and completely focus on the attainment and taking complete benefit of this present time of confluence age, right? Let us completely enjoy this limited time that we have in this confluence age, right? So when that 3 steps I was speaking of, renunciation, tyag, tapasya, and then seva, right? So the next step is tapasya. Tapasya means consistency. It's not just remembering Baba or making efforts for one day in a month or one day in a week, But consistency, how consistent I am every day, that counts. That makes life easier. That makes transformation easier. They say, even in the talks, they say spirituality is not like a cake that you eat once in a while, but it's like a bread that you eat every day, right? So remembering Baba or our yogi life is not just on Thursdays or Sundays, right? It's everyday business. And yogi life is not just until I listen to the Murli in the morning, until 7 o'clock, and then after 7 is my professional life. Right? You are a yogi 24/7. Might be your clothes change. When you go to the center, you wear white clothes, but you go to your office, obviously you won't be wearing white clothes anyway. But the clothes, physical clothes may change, but here in your consciousness, that wouldn't change. Right? You are playing a different role. That's it. There. When you come back to your family, you are playing a different role there. But it's not, my yogi life is not a role. If I belong to Baba, if I accept, okay, I am a Brahma Kumar or a Brahma Kumari, and that's 24/7. Right? Every time, all the time. Physically, you might be anywhere, doing anything, but mentally, emotionally, you are Baba's child. Right? So we need to be aware of that. And this is tapasya. Of course, Dadis did tapasya for continuously 14 years. That is wonderful. But being in this present scenario, we can't sit for a long time and do, right? How much ever we can, we do sit. Sitting meditation is also very much important. Of course, we say we are karma yogis, but the more we sit and discipline our senses, when we sit, we discipline our senses. When we don't practice sitting meditation, even to sit for half an hour, even to sit for 15 minutes, it becomes difficult. Without moving, without shaking, just to be still there, being with Baba, it becomes difficult. Unless and until you don't stabilize your body, you don't make your body still, you can't stabilize your mind. Both things are connected. If we are constantly moving our body, mind, it's difficult to stabilize the mind. Both are interconnected, right? Body and soul are deeply interconnected. If you want to control the mind, to some extent we have to control our body. If we have to control our body, we will have to control our mind. So it's both ways, right? So keeping that body still and meditating, really helps in stabilizing the body, in stabilizing the mind. So we have to check within ourselves, am I able to do it? Because we are into doing most of the time. As yogis, we have to slow down. Not in the mind, but at least, physical things. So when we slow down, we become powerful. When we think more, yesterday's topic was right. Overthinking was the topic, right? So that has become a tendency. When we slow down here, we slow down in the body. When we slow down with the body, then we slow down in the mind. Then we become powerful. Right? It's not necessary when we think fast, then we become powerful. No. Think slow, whatever is needed, and then we become powerful. So this is tapasya. To be in one place, experiencing that one consciousness. Once Nirvay Bhai was saying in his class, even to experience one consciousness for 3 minutes, you gain a lot of power. Experiencing that seed stage, just a point of light, and experiencing that Baba to be a point of light. How long can you stabilize your mind in one thought? How long? Few seconds, right? So if I'm able to stabilize my mind in one thought for a longer period of time, mind becomes powerful. Because otherwise we are shifting, right? We are shifting to different things, different relationship, different thought all the time. When we are shifting, so energy level is changing. So I'm not able to experiencing one relationship or one attainment in depth. When I experience one consciousness, one awareness for a little longer time, it seeps into me. It absorbs. Just like when it rains, they say, when it pours heavily for just half an hour and just stops, the ground doesn't absorb. When would the ground absorb the water? When it trickles for a longer period of time. It wouldn't be not necessary it should pour heavily. At least, it's, drizzling or small also. But a longer period of time, then the ground will absorb the water. Here also what we do is, for 1 second or few seconds, we experience that Almighty authority consciousness, and then shift and then shift and then shift to different things. So then the soul is not able to absorb that one particular quality. Right? So we have to experience, we have to practice holding on to one feeling for a little bit longer time, so that the soul absorbs that quality. If I say, okay, I am an embodiment of peace, for how long am I able to hold on to that thought? And I am an embodiment of peace. And then I'm able to absorb. So slowing down in this way, even in the physical exercise, they say when you do yoga, it's much more powerful. In yoga, Hatha Yoga, the movements are very slow. But you hold on to that posture for few counts. If you stretch and hold few counts, then all the muscles are stretched and there is strength is built. Right? So in the same way, holding on to that particular thing for a little more time stretches your thing, energizes with that particular energy. We are not mixing up many things. So this is tapasya according to time. Yeah.
You just talked about the experiencing and stabilizing. Isn't that what Baba said today in slogan, that attention and experiencing, practicing make your original sanskar?
Yes.
Is that what?
Yes. In order to make original sanskars are there anyway. right? But what is the problem is that there is dust. We need to clean it out, right? So cleaning is possible only when I experience that particular quality. So we have to stabilize into that consciousness a little bit longer time. You know, it's easy, just awareness or having that focus. Bring that thing into attention again and again will create that awareness. Because when we work with our thoughts, when we work with our mind, we have to understand, go slow with it, and then heal it, right? So we can't go too fast to understand and heal it. So we have to try to understand our mind first. What is it that the mind is taking pleasure in, right? What is it that my mind wants? So that understanding my own self, not necessarily if somebody is enjoying one thing, it doesn't mean that I also will enjoy that particular thing. So what is it that I need, I the soul need, right? Understanding that and then filling that energy into that soul, that particular energy, right? So this is important. And the consistency every day, how much I'm able to do. Because every day when I do, then there is transformation. When a hard stone, drop of water is trippled all the time, even the drop of water has so much power that the stone, the shape of the stone changes. No matter how powerful my sanskaras are, like a stone, hard stone, but this water, the nectar of knowledge, has the power to change that strong sanskars. But it has to be continuous, continuous. I can't stop and then start. Okay, you can do, but then there's less result. So we need to keep that consistency every day for how much of a time that we can do. That is the focus. That is a tapasya. Because there's a tendency to get influenced by our 63 birth sanskaras. So we have to be very careful and get rid of that. Talk to my own self. What is it that refocus our attention on our destination again and again. What is my destination? What is it that I want to do in this life? Refocusing again and again, bringing back my attention to my destination, right? So this is tapasya. Consistency in doing again and again. And then seva can happen. When the inner self is powerful, when I do my service of my own self, the service constantly happens outside. So this is a way to have Manmanabhav, to be in that consciousness of Manmanabhav. We can't just sit and meditate for a long time. For 24 hours, for 10 hours, can you sit and meditate? No, right? So we have to involve ourselves in different activities also, no? In Gyan, in Yoga, in Seva. So when I involve myself in all these different activities, then it's like it becomes easy to be in that awareness of Manmanabhav or remember Baba constantly.
शिव पिता को अब याद करो, मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने सुकर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में तुम पांडव शिव शक्ति सेना की रणभेरी अब फिर बजती है।
शिव बाबा के ज्ञान से फिर माया को आई भगाना है।
शिव पिता को अब याद करो, सतयुग में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो, मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने सुकर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है।
धाम में तुम्हें
सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है।
धाम में तुम्हें जाना है।
When Brahma Baba was alive, Baba used to give different activities to all the children, right? But one of the activities was to, stitch Kalparuksha, that pictures of Kalparuksha or cycle or, Baba used to make the children to stitch and make it beautiful. It is a small work. Mama also used to sit and stitch. It is a small work, but getting involved into something which helps me remember Baba, it's worth doing. Right? So we always say, no, I want to do bigger service, I want to do bigger seva. No, if I do bigger seva, okay, but while doing that seva, was I remembering Baba? Was I in the awareness of my own self? Right? So that is important. That's why Baba says, what type of seva you do, that doesn't count. But in what consciousness you do that seva, that counts. Right? Our numbers will increase on the basis of my awareness all the time. Right? So when I'm focused on my awareness, my consciousness all the time, life becomes easy, seva becomes easy. Overall, everything becomes easy. But we have to pay attention to have that tapasya, to focus our awareness again and again. This is the effort that we need to make at this confluence age. Right? Okay, Om Shanti, and we have few minutes. If you have any questions, we can just have question and answer for 10 minutes and we finish by 12:15 if you have to go to Manmanabhav also, right? Yeah. Any questions or any thoughts or anything that you want to share? No questions. Yeah.
So you know how you said that we should try and increase our intoxication by actually experiencing the guidance that Baba has given us. So how do we experience those things?
Okay. Okay, which title you want to experience now? Okay. Okay, when you say you are Baba, when Baba says that you are a world benefactor, what is your responsibility? Who are you? Yeah. I'm the ancestor soul. Right? I'm the ancestor soul, and that's why I'm a world benefactor. So if I can't give, who else can give? Only Baba's children have that ability to give. Only they have the ability to become world benefactors. Right? So Baba has given me such a huge responsibility of being a world benefactor. So when I'm a world benefactor, how should I be? I can't be asking for some things. I'm a giver. Just churning that and to experience, if I'm a world benefactor, what is it that I can do and what is it that I can't do? That responsibility is there, then I'm constantly a giver. I'm not a taker. Right? I'm not just giving from here, but I'm taking from Baba and giving. So my treasure store is not reducing. I'm constantly taking from Baba and giving. So when I'm giving, I'm combined with Baba. Right? So the remembrance is also there, and also giving is there. So stabilizing in that consciousness that I'm constantly taking from Baba and giving. Can you be in that thought for a while? I'm a world benefactor, I'm giving to the world. So being in that consciousness and experiencing how it feels to give. Then giving doesn't hurts you or doesn't become a burden to give. It becomes natural. Giving should be natural for BKs. Because human tendency is to take. I want. Right? For Baba's children, giving should be natural. So when I experience this giving on this level, in physical level also, it's easy for me to give. So world benefactor means doesn't differentiate. Oh, I want to give to this person, I don't want to give to this person. No, I have to give it to everyone, irrespective of who that person is, what that person has done to me. Irrespective of everything, I'm giving to the world, giving to everyone, giving. So experiencing that in depth. Understanding it on a intellectual level is different, but to experience it and then to give it's different. Right? Yeah, there was something else coming up.
It's very natural when you practice Baba and you constantly to Baba. Then there is no kind of thought comes that we are giving. It's just happening.
It is happening. It's just happening. But many, few people have that tendency just to take from Baba also, like not giving to the world. Baba is ocean of peace. I'm a embodiment of peace. I'm experiencing that peace in me, but I'm not giving. We should have the tendency to give. I'm experiencing, but also giving. So that has to be constant. It's not just I'm taking, but giving. That has to become natural. Yeah. Master Almighty Authority. Yes. Okay, Baba is Almighty Authority. I am a Master Almighty Authority. When I am Master Almighty Authority, I have that power. I have the strength to do anything. Right? When I have that strength, then I can develop self-confidence. I have that courage. I have that faith that Baba is with me. So I can become fearless. So many things comes with one power. One thing, many other virtues are attached to it. Right? To experience being Master Almighty Authority. Okay. When I experiencing along with experiencing means what? Like here in meditation we have three things. We do three things. One is to create thoughts. right? Another is visualization. Visualizing that I'm a point of light and that I'm experiencing that energy. Experiencing means I'm seeing. So my third eye of my intellect, I'm seeing that white light coming to me. I'm absorbing that. I'm able to clearly see like a film. Like when I see a picture or a film, how clearly we can see. In the same way, I can clearly see through my intellect that energy flowing to me. Second is visualization. And the third is feeling. If I'm saying Baba is ocean of love, I'm creating thought, I'm visualizing that the energy coming into me, and also feeling the love from Baba. Right? All three things have to go together. Right? So in the same way, when I say I am Almighty, Master Almighty Authority, and Baba is Almighty Authority, I am His worthy child. So I create, I visualize, and also feel that energy, feel that strength, that Baba is there and I'm under His canopy, very secure, powerful, but very courageous. That energy, feel that energy. Right? These three things has to go together. And this is called experience. Right? Feeling is very much important. When I say power, I feel that power. When I say love, I feel Baba's love. When I say knowledge, I feel Baba's knowledge coming into me. So different feelings, different emotions, even in relationships also. When I say Shiv Baba is my father, can you feel the love of a father? Right? When you say Baba is my teacher, can you feel him like a teacher? When you are taking that knowledge from the teacher. So activate those capabilities of the soul when you meditate. So then it becomes easier. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And giving, energizing everyone, all the souls, making them powerful, making them strong, making them elevated, giving that energy. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? I couldn't get you. Purity. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Bodily relationships. We need to remember the physical relations to give them. Yeah. When you have to give, you have to remember them. That's what you say? Okay, I understood your question. On one side, Baba says, don't remember your physical relationships, but when we give, we have to remember, right? Yeah. So, you don't have to remember them as the relations, but look at the soul. Look at the soul and give them. But when you give in particular to a soul, you have to be very careful. When you give it to the world at large, it's much more easier. And Baba says, if you give, when you give it to the whole world, just like I'm sitting here and giving it to the whole world, whatever Baba's love, Baba's whatever I'm giving to the whole world. So whoever is near me means I'm connected to certain people around me, right? My physical relations, my family members. The soul is connected. So they will get first, and then the world will get. So physically I don't have to remember them. Oh, give Baba's love to this soul. Give Baba's love to this soul. I don't have to remember each one and give Baba's love. When I give Baba's love to the whole world, they'll automatically receive. Right? So, but if somebody is sick, or if I want to help that person, that particular person, giving Baba's sakash to that person, so then we will have to be very careful, because it could reverse also to me. It could reverse. So then I should not give them in this physical world. I will have to visualize them in the subtle world. And be with Baba, take that energy from Baba and give. So, because if somebody is in a lower energy, if I'm not cautious, if I'm not cautious, that negativity can come within me. I can be affected by that negativity. Yeah. If I'm not connected with Baba, and if I'm not in soul conscious stage, so then definitely I'm influenced by that negativity. So I have to be very careful when we give it to a particular person. When we give it to the world, no problem. But negativity will be influenced by that negativity. Right? So that's why Baba says, visualize them in subtle region and then be with Baba and give those souls like that. There are methods, but we have to be very careful and protect ourselves also from all those things, and then also help them. We can't say, oh, I'll be affected, so I can't help that person. No, we can't be so merciless. Right? We have to protect ourselves, but at the same time, help them. Yes. When we feel that we are great donors, then we can definitely do it. But then at the same time, you have to protect yourself also. When you go to a war, a soldier wouldn't go without a protection, right? Because he wouldn't say, oh, now nothing will happen, I'll just go and kill. Enemies are there, they'll definitely affect me, right? So I will have to protect myself first and then go out there and help others. I can't say, oh, no, Baba is with me, it will not affect me. Yeah. So, but then in between we become body conscious, right? We are not soul conscious all the time. If we are in soul conscious all the time, it will not affect. But we don't have that practice of being soul conscious all the time. So we have the tendency to come in body consciousness. So when we are in body consciousness, that will affect immediately. So we have to be very careful.